Hello everyone and thank you for joining me. For today's scribble I will be using a fountain pen that has been not in my collection but in one of my kids' collection. This was a fountain pen that they seen me looking at on Amazon one time, and they said that they wanted it for their birthday. So last year I purchased this fountain pen for one of my kids, and they've been enjoying it whenever they remember to use it. Recently, my little one came to me and said, "Daddy, fountain pen is out of ink." So I took it, I had to clean it. It hasn't been used for a while and the ink was a little bit dry in there. And as I was cleaning it, I realized that, hey, this is actually a pretty nice fountain pen. Why not try and make a video with it? Or better said, to make a sketch with it. So here it is in all its glory and beauty. This is the HongDian Forest Rainbow version. And it's quite eye candy and eye catchy. I do like this fountain pen, and I can see why my little one was so keen on having it. Looking at the first version of the fountain pen, the first version of the forest fountain pen, there are a lot of things that are similar, but I do see a little bit of improvements which I approve of. The overall shape is exactly the same. I have the black version, not the rainbow. Actually, I believe there were no rainbow. Back in the days when it first came, it was just the black version. One thing that I really like is that the top of the cap is now stamped, and it doesn't have that rubbery, glassy, weird dome that it used to have. And at the same time, I don't know what they did to the cap, but the cap it's actually lighter on the new version than the old version. The old version needs a little bit more cap heavy when you hold it in hand. As a matter of fact, if I post both pens, the cap on the Black Forest, the original version, feels a little bit heavier, and as such does make the pen a little bit top heavy when posted. While the rainbow one, it's still some weight in there. Personally, I can actually feel the difference of the less weight. It doesn't feel as top heavy when posted. It's actually enjoyable even when writing, as you see me doing it right now. And yeah, that's all the differences that I notice on them. I don't know if anything else is different on them. Oh, I guess one thing, the cap posts much nicer and it feels much sleeker when you post it on the newer version than the older version. And that's it. I try to combine parts, and they are still interchangeable, so there are not a lot of differences. It's just small improvements which makes the forest fountain pen a much better fountain pen. And it was already, to begin with, even the original version, a quite nice, decent fountain pen. The pen does come with a number 5 nib that has the same theme, pattern or color on it, a rainbow color. And it works actually very smooth, as you probably see me in here. By the way, I paired it with a new ink that I got from China, and probably the last bottle that I got from China because I was forced to close my AliExpress account. That's a story for another day, but I managed to get one of the 500 milliliters ink bottles from China in blue. And actually I really love this blue. I don't know if it's a little bit drier. I have to test it with other fountain pens. It works nice at normal speed, but when I was speeding up and doing the last part of the writing test, there were some skippings. I don't know if it was the nib or the ink in this case. But it worked as intended, to be honest with you. No major issues with it. And the nib is pleasantly smooth, a little bit scratchy on the reverse, and I did no work on it. But my kids don't write on reverse, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, and the cap makes a very nice click when you post it. Let me try and see if I can catch it with a mic. That was the newer-ish version, and this is the original version, the black version that I have. They sound pretty much the same. So the internals of the cap are most probably exactly the same, just the top part of the cap is better designed. Lengthwise, thickness-wise, everything else seems to be okay. Oh, one thing that I do notice as I look at this, the clip seems to be a little bit more elastic or more springy, actually. More springy on the Rainbow version than on the original version that I have. It's much stiffer on the original one. But yeah, that's the fountain pen. Very pleasant to use. Was nice to steal it from my kid for a day and enjoy it as it is. And I definitely approve of this fountain pen. If you don't have a HongDian Forest version of this fountain pen and you like metal fountain pens, highly recommend to at least give it a try. You might be surprised by how good it is. For the drawing part, as you've seen me starting it, and while I'm kind of at the beginnings of this one, as usual, no ideas. I had nothing concrete in mind that I wanted to do. One thing that I did want it was to try and do a drawing on landscape mode. I realized as I was going through my drawings that I've done on this paper that I have nothing on landscape, and I decided to do the drawing for today and the drawing for the next week in a landscape mode. And I actually like it. I don't know why I haven't done it before, but it's nice to spread your ideas across rather than stretch them up and down. One thing that I'm not sure though, I usually add my artwork on my store, and well, if by any chance anybody, anywhere, anytime will be interested in buying anything that I make, they can find prints of these drawings in there. But one odd thing is that the posters that I usually put them on to be printed, they don't come in landscape mode. So this one will look awkward on the store because it will be kind of a sideways. So basically it will probably have its face facing up in the picture rather than down or sideways towards the left. But it wouldn't really matter anyway, because when you actually print it and it comes with a frame, you can basically put it as it should normally. Just unfortunately on the store, on the page, on the website, they don't have a landscape mode, which is really weird. Anyway, with the store aside, the drawing for today, again, no idea what I wanted to do, but I kind of started just moving my hand left to right on that longer piece of paper and just trying to see if I can find some shapes. And as I was building the lines, I started to see like chunks of shapes and slowly build up on those chunks and those chunks within those chunks and so on and so forth until I end up with a creature that I actually really, really like. At this point in the drawing, you'll probably can see it, so nothing to ruin. It kind of turned out to be like a twofer. It's like two creatures within one. It's like two creatures that merged and became one creature, one demon, one whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it feels like it's nothing like I've done ever before, and I really, really liked it. This piece was really enjoyable to work on, and the ink with this paper and the color of the paper, in my opinion, they work really, really, really good. I like it almost as much as I like the sepia from Platinum. I most probably gonna be use this ink again next week. No, because next week actually I'm going to bring for the first time on my channel and I know you're gonna gasp and probably have a little bit of panic attack. I'm gonna bring up a rollerball pen. Yes. I actually been using a rollerball pen for quite a while. Not quite a while, but for a while now. And on this paper, it works surprisingly good. I've been using it in my sketchbook. I think I might have mentioned this a couple of times in one of my previous videos, but it works very well. Almost I would say even better than the fountain pen, especially if the fountain pen is paired with a more finer nib, since it tends to be scratchier. So the issue that I have on this paper, and I probably have said this before, the paper feels dusty for a lack of a better term. It's a nice paper to work with, but as you move your nib across the page, it's like fibers and dust are coming out of the paper, and they get between the tines or on the nib, and it actually slowly starts to dry the nib, and a lot of times I actually have to clean that extra fibers that are gathering on the nib just so I can clear the flow of the ink. Sometimes it's frustrating because you can go from it's wet and nice to now it scratches and digs into the paper quicker than I would like it, especially again with finer nibs. I still enjoy using fountain pens, that's not a problem. I enjoy the ink on this paper and I will keep on using ink, but roller ball pens, they're not too bad. This is so funny, actually. I can barely even pronounce roller ball pen. It's like I have to think a couple of times before the word comes out. It's like I know the name, but I don't know the name. It's much easier to just say fountain pen because it's a much more natural instrument for me. So roller ball pen, it's like a mouthful for me. But I hope you will still enjoy the drawing that I will be doing, and hopefully I will be getting an interesting drawing. Actually, I do have a plan on it for the next week. It's a drawing that I've been doing in a corner of a page. I was not joking around, just feeling the pen and see how it works and how it feels. And like I got kind of a small sketch out of it, and I really liked how it looked like. And I'm planning to make like a larger version of that. Yeah, I'll bring it out on this paper next week. So stay tuned. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. As for this one, like I mentioned, I love the ink. Unfortunately, there is no name or brand behind this ink. This is an ink that I will start offering it as a ink sample with my fountain pens that I'm making, and hopefully if you ever get to play with this ink, you will enjoy it just as much. Unfortunately, I cannot post the link for the AliExpress because, like I said, I have closed my account with them for reasons that I'll probably mention in a different video at a later time. Fountain pen worked out very well. It gave me a little bit of a headache with the fact that being an extra fine nib, again, and because of the paper being, again, dusty for a lack of better term, it gave me a lot of issues and it was clogging very fast, and I had to clean it here and there. I kind of used it at my advantage because while the ink felt drier and took more passes to actually fill a space, it also gave me the opportunity to slowly build some areas, and that kind of worked for my advantage and for what I wanted to get out of the drawing. Bottom line is, though, the fountain pen performed very well. There's no fault to it, rather than the paper, I would say. And the drawing that I got with it, I like it. I like it a lot. I know that probably a lot of people won't like it because my creatures don't seem to be very likable, and a lot of times people say they're very scary. And as a funny thing, at one time somebody recommended that probably I should see a shrink because the images that I'm putting on paper are disturbing, and if they are, I apologize, but unfortunately this is what I enjoy making and this is what I enjoy liking. And they're not disturbing to me. I find them intriguing, and it keeps me in awe, like how can I come up with this and where the hell are these things coming out of? Anyway, getting towards the end here, this was definitely a fun sketch or drawing for today. I really love this ink. Again, probably my third time stating this, and I think the ink and the fountain pen were a great combination on this paper. Yeah, this was a good video. I enjoyed everything about it. I enjoyed the fountain pen, I love the ink, and I still love the paper. And I hope you enjoyed the video as well. Hopefully I didn't bore you to pieces. And again, I'll see you next week. And I'm bringing out a roller ball pen to play with. Hopefully you enjoy it just as much. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully I'll see you next time. And I wish you a wonderful day or night, whatever you are. Take care. Bye.